What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Country Cast. Yes, I am back yet again. Unfortunately, I was out with a very stupid injury because I thought that I was 15 years old when clearly I am not. And yeah, I fell off of a one-wheel skateboard at about 18 miles an hour. Got pretty tore up, but my big ass should have never been on that in the first place. But here we are, I'm back. We have a ton of news to go over today. Really great stuff. Major headlines that I feel like we really need to dive into because they're big stories. And for example, we're going to talk about Loretta Lynn and how she is not on the same page as Garth Brooks when it comes to a big decision that he recently made, as well as Kelly Clarkson going after a troll on Twitter when she was attacked about her divorce from her husband. Y'all know what to do. Stay tuned. And of course, just real quick before we get started, remember our socials are up and running now. So head on over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to give us a like and a follow. Facebook is CountryCast, Instagram is CountryCast News, and Twitter is at CountryCast News. And if you are new here at our YouTube show, please hit the subscribe button down below. Turn those notifications on if you like what you see so you don't miss out on any breaking updates on your favorite country artist. And of course, like I always say, all the news coming right out of Music City. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the news. And before we get to Loretta Lynn and Garth Brooks and Kelly Clarkson, I got to share something with y'all that's pretty magnificent. I know that's a hell of a word. It's a pretty big word to use prior to seeing what this is all about. But there's something special in the works happening with Rhett and Tyler Hubbard from Florida Georgia Line. And I think it's something that us country fans out here really need to hear from these two guys because truly deep down, they can cut a country song, they can cut a country album, but we just need to hear it maybe in a studio version or even how they did it recently on social media. So here's the deal. And we're going to get to the videos in a moment, and you're going to hear this new song that is pretty phenomenal so far on how they have it recorded on their social media accounts. Now, how it will play out in the studio, that may be a different story, but right now, this is a hell of a song. So 3 days ago, Rhett posted a song to his social media, and Tyler Hubbard, not too long after Rhett posted the same song, it appears, to his social media and hashtag Death Row as maybe the title, and also tagged Rhett. So it appears that these two guys are collaborating together on this song, and it looks that Rhett may have posted verse 1 and Tyler may have posted verse 2 of the song. Now again, I'm not real sure how this is going to shake out when we get the full version of it, but right now it looks as though that Tyler and Thomas are collaborating, and it's a hell of a song, and it also appears to be a true story. And when you hear what I'm about to play for you, I hope to God you are as psyched as I am about this because it sounds like it's going to be a really good song. And if there is a story behind it, which there appears to be, I got to hear the story because they're laying out the story pretty hardcore in the song already. So I'm sure the story that they have behind it is pretty damn touching. But enough from me because I want you guys to hear this first before we move on. Give this a listen. Here is Rhett and Tyler Hubbard both giving a little snippet of a new song that we might get soon, maybe titled Death Row. Check it out.
Just last week I went to prison to see some boys down on death row. I brought some guitars and my buddies to play some songs I thought they'd know. I could feel myself trembling when I shook one of their hands. I thought that he would be a monster. Turns out he's a whole lot like I am. Yeah, we talked hunting, we talked fishing like I do boys back home. How Jesus is the ticket, and narrow is the road. About how all we need is forgiveness before we see them streets go. Yeah, I learned a lot about living from them boys down on death row.
One of them's name was Johnny. Ain't touched the grass in 30 years. Maybe I ain't supposed to feel sorry, but it about brought me to tears. Then it hit me, we're all human, ain't always proud of what we've done. Everybody's days are numbered, only difference is they all know which one. We talk hunting, we talk fishing like I do with boys back home. How Jesus is the ticket and narrow is the road. About how we all need forgiveness before we see them streets of gold. Yeah, I learned a lot about living from them boys down on death row.
See what I'm talking about there? Pretty good, right? And it's just a simple country song. And we're getting it from Thomas Rhett and Tyler Hubbard. Hell yeah, about time. We know these guys can lay down a country track. We just need it to happen. And I think we're finally starting to see that more and more, especially with Thomas Rhett. He's done a lot of unreleased stuff on his Instagram that has been really killer. But I cannot wait for a full studio version of this song. It's going to be really great. But we need to switch gears. Next in our lineup real quick is Kane Brown. We're going to talk about some things he had to say about Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard fans, and how pretty much if you're fans of those two artists and you're still about them, you're not really a fan of his. And apparently he's crowned himself pop country now. But we've kind of known that. This isn't really a surprise, especially with the mixtape that he just released where he's doing a bunch of collaboration with outside artists. We heard his song with Nelly, Cool Again, that remix. He also collabs with John Legend. Both of those artists are great. They're great. But when you look at country music and what country music is, Kane Brown obviously goes outside of the box, and, pop country, he fits there. But this is what he had to say about those fans of Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. He says, "Everybody already calls me pop country, so I just want to go ahead and claim that title. I want to have songs on pop radio, and I want to have songs on country radio. I don't see why that should be a problem. There are people who are, red dirt country, who are still on Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash, and they can't stand me. My fans love all genres of music." First off, we need to talk about the classification of red dirt country. When I think red dirt country, I think Wade Bowen. I think Josh Ward, Turnpike Troubadours. I think the Randy Rogers Band. I'm not really sure where he's headed in that direction when he labeled these fans as such with Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. But Merle Haggard, Bakersfield sound. Let's go ahead and start there. And then Johnny Cash, we already know where he falls. I don't really understand the mix-up of the label there. But if you're going to say some things about some folks, you might want to do a little bit of research on the classification that you're about to use. So Kane Brown has deemed himself pop country, which, again, is not really a surprise. And apparently, if you're a Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and you're still about them, you ain't really a fan of Kane Brown. I'll be honest, I like Kane Brown. I like his music. I think it's good. I'm okay with people listening to all genres. I do it. Everyone should do it. Open your mind, expand it. But country music is what country music is, folks. And in order to be classified as country music, you gotta be able to hit those elements. Now, moving on to Kelly Clarkson and what she had to say to a troll on Twitter about her divorce and just being a parent. So there is a tweet that is no longer available, and according to E! Online, this is what the troll had to say to Kelly Clarkson after they learned of her decision to go on America's Got Talent after she replaced Simon Cowell after he sustained an injury to his back. They wrote, "No wonder her marriage didn't work. Surprised she has time for her kids. Not the good old country girl we fell in love with. It's all about Kelly being on TV and no one else. No tears for her, but for her kids." Kelly was not too fond of that, and she felt the need to respond, which in most times, Kelly does respond to people who want to kind of throw some stabs at her. And Kelly is divorcing from her husband after 7 years of marriage, but, we don't really know their personal life. So for someone to just jump on there and say these things without probably really knowing the full story, well, you might want to stand by because Kelly's got something for you. And this is what she had to say. She said, "Wow, shaming a mother who has a great work ethic is a great mom and who steps up and fills in when a friend asks for a favor, because that's actually what good old country girls," you see there in quotations, she continues and says, "do. This can't be who you are deep down. I have more faith in your heart. Aim higher, please." There's no doubt that when the news broke that Kelly and her husband would be splitting after 7 years of marriage, that fans weren't shocked. It wasn't a blow to them. Of course it was. But for someone to just jump online and start throwing jabs at Kelly, that's not going to fly, right? We've seen it time and again. I've said that before, and Kelly has no problem with jabbing back at him. And what do we call them? Keyboard warriors. That's what these folks are all about. They always want to say something online and try to hurt somebody's feelings or make them feel, smaller than who they truly are. Whatever, folks. But Kelly and her husband, it's their business, and I'm sure soon enough we will eventually understand what the full totality of the circumstances were behind their divorce. But until then, it's their issue. All right? Leave it alone. And last but not least, our grand finale, our final story of the day. Yes, it involves the wonderful, the beautiful Miss Loretta Lynn. That's right, folks. Loretta Lynn has spoke up, and when Loretta Lynn speaks, you listen. To me, this woman is the queen of country music. My mama played her music all through the house, all the time, and I fell in love with Loretta Lynn. Really, that's part of the reason I fell in love with country music. And I'm telling you, she tells it like it is. We all know that, and that's what makes her fantastic. And Loretta Lynn does not agree with Garth Brooks because Garth Brooks pulled out of the Entertainer of the Year runnings. Loretta Lynn thinks he should not do that. And, he got some backlash after Eric Church and Carrie Underwood did not win the award. But, and there's an argument there, especially when you look at Carrie Underwood's tour that she had, Eric Church's tour. He was doubled down. He was doing a city, 2 nights, major 3-hour playlist. It was pretty incredible. But we're also talking about Garth Brooks here, folks. Garth Brooks. Okay? This man turned the stage of country music into country and rock and roll mixed all together. I mean, he had so many different influences that he brought with him to the table. You can say he's a bit over the top. You can say whatever you want. But the guy is an entertainer. That's the award, right? Entertainer. Okay? Entertainer of the Year. And you can hate me or love me for saying this, but I think Garth should stay in the running. It just is what it is. May the best man win at the end of the day. And this is what Loretta Lynn had to say. So she posted this to her social media, her Instagram, and wrote, "I've thought a lot about Garth Brooks stepping down from being considered for CMA Entertainer of the Year. That's classic, humble Garth, but I think he's wrong on this one. He's won it 7 times because he earned it. In my book, he's earned it 20 times over and deserves to win it any time they count the votes up and he's on top. He's worked his heart out, and you can mark it down that I'm his biggest fan. I hope CMA ignores his request. Love ya, honey." Now, with what I'm about to say here, some folks may see this as a bit of a rough analogy, but I'm going to go ahead and go for it because I think it works. The New England Patriots. Ring a bell? Yeah, I'm sure they do. They've pretty much been in and won every damn Super Bowl since I've been alive. Not really, but you understand the concept that I'm going for. This is like the situation with Garth Brooks with the Entertainer of the Year award. Lombardi Trophy, the highest trophy you can bring home in the NFL, right? Entertainer of the Year, it's viewed the same way in country music. But the thing is, some folks just hate winners. But Garth Brooks, this man has left behind a legacy, and he's still doing it. And if you haven't been to a Garth show, first of all, you should go to one. But let me tell you, it is a spectacle. It is a spectacle of a show, and this guy sells out time and time again in very rapid numbers. We're talking minutes. His shows are sold out, and he is selling out the biggest stadiums in the U.S. The guy's winning, okay, and he's bringing home the trophy. So for him to pull out, that is a very humble gesture, and I understand, maybe his thought process behind that. But hey, man, may the best man win, and that's how you got to look at it. But let me know what you guys think about Garth Brooks' decision to pull out of Entertainer of the Year award runnings, and if you agree with Loretta Lynn. Guys, that'll be it for today's video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn those notifications on for breaking updates on your favorite country artist and all the news coming right out of Music City. Y'all stay country.